This is What Amit's Watching, and I'm Amit, and trying a little new format here that I haven't done before. Figured a little more long form. So we're going to talk about a bunch of things. First we're going to talk about is movies that came out this past Friday. So the movies that came out this past week were two key films. One is called The Foreigner. The Foreigner is a new Jackie Chan, Pierce Brosnan film. It's actually directed by the same dude who did two amazing Bond films. One was Casino Royale, and one was GoldenEye. And so now he's back with Pierce Brosnan. That was his first film he did. He was actually up for like a slew of Bond films after that, but he didn't want to do any of them. Pierce Brosnan, I think that was Pierce Brosnan's first movie, and the same thing was also Daniel Craig's first movie as a Bond character, which kind of lent him to kind of come in, guys like Martin Campbell, and be that director for those films. Movie's not getting great reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, but I'm still curious, probably going to go check it out. In addition to that, another film that came out is called The Marowitz Stories, and there's a train going on right above me, that's why the noise is there. And The Marowitz Stories are actually a film that got great reviews at TIFF and a bunch of other film festivals, but it's Adam Sandler. And you already know how I feel about Adam Sandler. The guy is the worst. He hasn't done anything worthwhile in God knows how long. But this is the film where he's getting a lot of great reviews. It's him, it's Ben Stiller, it's Dustin Hoffman, and it's going to be on Netflix soon enough anyway. I think it's Netflix in a couple weeks actually. So you can catch it there when it comes out. But those are the two big films that came out this week, and you know, check them out when you get around to it. Another show that actually came out on Friday, not a film, but a show, was David Fincher's Mindhunter. David Fincher's a dude who did just a Social Network. He did Fight Club and a bunch of other stuff. And so it's pretty dark. It's pretty much about two FBI agents who were back in the day learning about what happens in the mind of a psychopath or a serial killer. So they're kind of going through and interviewing serial killers and getting their idea or their take on what went down. So it's kind of a dark show. It's been interesting so far. I'm only a few episodes in, but that came out on Friday. So now we're going to touch base on some news stories and things that happened this past week. So first thing, there's a new website/app called Movies Anywhere, which is a partnership of the 5 major studios, Disney, NBC, Fox, etc. And the purpose is, it's in essence going to be an aggregator site. So you go, it doesn't cost you anything, but you go there and you can watch or purchase films or TV shows, some movies primarily, from any one of these sites, including Amazon, etc. Netflix isn't a part of this deal just yet, and I doubt they ever will be, but this is kind of their way, the studio's way, so you don't have to go around searching the internet to find a film you want to watch. You can just go to this one place, search for it, the film by title or character, etc., and you can watch it directly from there and pay the money or whatever it is to stream it. They'll give you 5 free movies when you sign up. None of the movies are really worth watching, but they give you 5 free movies if you sign up and you link to your Amazon account or your Vudu account or your Google Play account, etc. The other one too is obviously been hearing about the whole Harvey Weinstein thing. So Harvey Weinstein's had a film that was coming out called The Current War, that was coming out with Benedict Cumberbatch, pretty much Thomas Edison, and the whole story behind that. And it was getting blah reviews. Harvey Weinstein, it was supposed to come out in November. They pulled it from the schedule altogether, probably next year. It was initially hope that it would be like an awards film, but again, it was getting killed, so not so much there. So whether or not they pulled it because Harvey was going to actually go into edit room himself and try to figure out how to make this film watchable. Obviously, he's got some other issues going on right now with his rape situation that he's trying to get away from. He's actually left the country, so we'll see how that pans out. CBS is actually giving their show SEAL Team Season 2. I don't know who watches anything on CBS, but it's another crap show that's getting picked up for another season. So people who like it will continue to see more crap on CBS. So there's consistency there. NBC is giving Sean Hayes another try at a TV show that he's doing. And Sean Hayes is from Will and Grace, and he's tried a couple of shows. I actually worked on one of the shows, and the show's just horrible. But he's got his shingle, his production company is actually under the NBC umbrella, so they're going to give him another try, obviously, because they have to. They're investing money in him. And he's putting out a show, and it's pretty much, it's going to be mediocre. I haven't even seen anything about it, but I haven't seen him do a good show in God knows how long, if not ever. Will and Grace was part of an ensemble, it's a little different scenario. But Sean Hayes by himself, not so much. So now let's talk about movies that are going to come out this Friday, which is the 20th of October. Bunch of crap, simply put. First thing you got Geostorm. Geostorm is a horrible movie where we control the weather, and then somebody hijacks the machine that controls the weather, and bad things happen, and it's like a big world apocalyptic type film. It stars Gerard Butler, who hasn't done a film worth watching since 300. I mean, dude just done a bunch of crap since then. But in any event, that's coming out this Friday for some ridiculous reason. The Snowman is coming out, and that's the murder. It's like a dude decapitates women, puts their heads on snowman bodies, and it's Michael Fassbender. but it's getting killed. Like, I thought it'd be decent, like a decent thriller, but it's getting killed. So I don't know how good or bad that's gonna be. But maybe I'll check it out when it gets closer. But it's getting rocked. Like, I was supposed to get a screening, didn't even get a screening for it. So my assumption is it actually is just that bad. There's also an artsy film that comes out this week, which is called The Killing of a Sacred Deer, and it is from the same dude who did The Lobster, which is a film that came out a couple years ago. I saw it in Toronto, and it's Nicole Kidman, it's Colin Farrell. Colin Farrell was actually in The Lobster as well. I don't like this dude's films. Lobster got great reviews, and I thought Lobster was horrible, and I mean, I was bored out of my mind. I get the general premise, it just wasn't fun for me, so I don't think I'm gonna like this film either. And the only good film that's coming out, well, good meaning it should be entertaining, is Only the Brave, and Only the Brave is the film about these firemen who are fighting this crazy forest fire, and I'm assuming some people don't make it back, and it's one of those heart-tugging type films of people doing good things for other people. So that comes out as well, and the other one that comes out is Leatherface. I'm gonna leave that as is. They're trying to bring back Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So this is the new version of it, I guess, but I haven't read much about it, positive or negative, so I don't know what to tell you. Also coming out this week is Madea Halloween, the Tyler Perry film. I'm amazed he's still doing these kind of films. I'm amazed Madea still exists as a character, but then again, I'm not the target audience, but that's coming out. And in the movie review segment of this week's show, or this week's What Amit's Watching, is a show that I saw called Spotless, and Spotless is a show on Netflix, and it's a pretty standard timeline or standard storyline where there's a good brother and a bad brother, meaning the good brother gets into stuff because the other brother is kind of his Achilles heel, and he kind of forces him to do things he didn't want to do based on, circumstance, etc. And so Spotless is pretty much about two French brothers who live in the UK, and one brother's job is to clean up crime scenes. So he gets in with the mob or mafia or whatever, and has to do this with people who have died and set up crime scenes, etc., etc., etc. The villain's actually played by one of the dudes from Downton Abbey. He was Lord Grantham's valet. So that's it. So he's doing this film. It came out back in 2015. They set it up. It ends with a pseudo cliffhanger, but there hasn't been any other series since then. But I think it's actually still going on. They're doing a season 2. It's called Spotless. 2.5 abs. And it's on Netflix. That's it. Additionally, this week I actually also saw Spielberg, which is a documentary on Steven Spielberg on HBO. It's 2+ hours long, but it was really cool, especially if you love his movies. You kind of see how he developed from where he started, and how young he started, and how determined he was, and how he threw a lot of father-son type situations in his films because of his personal relationship with his father, or lack thereof, subsequent rekindling, and just his whole goal and his whole drive within the industry, and kind of changing the way things were done with Jurassic Park, and just changing the whole scene in general. It was well worth watching. I highly recommend, especially if you like film and TV. It was really, really good. So decently long documentary, 4.5 abs. Enjoy. Thank you for watching this week's video. Please subscribe at YouTube. Check me out here at Insta, on Twitter, and all the other various mediums at What Amit's Watching. Thanks again. Have a great one. Talk soon.